Yo, what's up, Kat? Hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. We have lots to talk about. Lots has happened between here and then. I hope you've been doing well. Making books, I saw. You and Saf have been scheming, making some cool stuff. It's good to hear, though. I'm gonna save the what this past week has been like rant until once we probably start warm up. It's been crazy though. It's been a lot. But hey, we're here, and I am so thankful that we are drawing. It's good to be back. And it's only been a week, but it's been a chaotic week. Saw some of your drawings. I can't remember if it was in work in progress or in art share, but good work with those. You're definitely improving. That's for sure. Dang, banger after banger tonight. This is my personal playlist, but sometimes there's okay songs, but man, these three songs that I've just played. Oof. Also, my tuna settings reset. It should not be using that place marker. Tuna. Well, looks like we're gonna have a buggy tuna this stream, but that's pretty typical, isn't it? I realized I love making stuff. I see the appeal now. Hey, huge. That's what it's about. What I've said at the beginning of this channel and what I will always say is make good things. It's really nothing better than that. But starting off, hello everybody. Hope you're well. It is 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and it is time to start the stream. I've been gone for a week. This, without any doubt, whatever, has been the hardest academic week of my entire life. But while we talk about that, let's get warmed up. So yeah, I can't remember what day it was when I, took off. I was like, hey, I'm going to take off the week. And that was a good choice. Because I spent literally every hour of every day coding and studying and working. I skipped the gym. I skipped drawing. I skipped lunch. I stopped eating lunch, which is not a good thing. Don't do that. And I stayed awake from Tuesday to Thursday. I didn't sleep for 3 days in the middle, and I submit my last thing yesterday night at 12, 5 minutes before it was due. My polls exam, my political science exam, I did okay. I don't know about my philosophy yet, and I don't know about my malware class. That was the one that took up the most time. I was sitting in this room for I started skipping classes just to be in here. It's all really just a blur for me. Like, thinking back on it, I spent hours in here. Like, tens of hours. And I barely remember any of it. It's very strange. And yeah, so it was... This is kind of it. This was the hardest, right? I do have finals, but none of it's like this. This was the hardest part. And damn, it was the hardest part. So yeah, it was tough, and I want to talk about today. When we dedicate ourselves to things like this, to where they're a detriment to our own health, because staying up for 3 days straight, skipping eating, skipping gym, skipping classes, that's not a good idea. um, and well, I will say like skipping classes in college is a lot different than skipping classes in like high school, right? Or like middle school. Uh, because like those, I mean, you will have classes with attendance in university, but like you're an adult. That's what like most prefer. Like you're an adult, go figure it out. Um, just skipping classes for almost an entire week is not a good choice. But yeah, so will I say I regret doing it? No, I honestly won't. I won't say I regret doing all those things because I made something really, really cool in the end. I'm very proud of my work. I worked hard. I stuck to it. I did not give up because I knew at the end of the day, the only thing stopping me from getting like doing the thing I want is just me, like time. Or like no, it was more so me. Like I knew in the time I had, I could complete it. It would take every bit of focus, every ounce of strength that I could give it. So, and it somehow worked out. Oh, well, we'll see actually, but I have a good feeling it did. Um, and it sucked because today was the first day I had a full night of rest. I cleaned up my apartment. I did groceries, basically all the chores that I neglected during the week. And it's taking me like I'm very glad I stream because it's taking me a lot to get back into the groove of things, right? Like will I stream every day? Of course, yeah. That's not changing. It's more so, and I've noticed, and this is a new like idea I've been working on. I've talked about it on stream a couple times, but art isn't done in a vacuum. And every time that I've experienced an art low, it's because sure it could be for its own sake, but it's typically primed by something else happening in my life, either like stressful exams, moving apartments, whatever it may be that may be stressful. And it's not to say that art in and of itself can't be such like a powerful force in your life that you get an art low, but for me, historically, it's been spurred on by things beyond just art. And so like I've noticed, today I had a ton of free time, a ton. For the first time this whole semester, I didn't have to do homework. I don't have to do homework this weekend. And I was just kind of sitting there. And I could have picked up the pen and started drawing or picked up a video game, but I just took it easy. I know for a fact that I like art a lot, but I don't want to like try to overcorrect right after such a difficult week, right? Like I don't know. I feel like if I like completely 180'd and started drawing as much as I could, that would just make it worse somehow. So I'm giving myself the time, and of course, streaming is a wonderful medium to do that. Right? It keeps me consistent, especially Drawbox. Right? Do this, and I can do that. I can like shut off that part of my brain telling me whatever, you know, trying to push me away from drawing, and I'll just do the thing. But I never want to have a week like this again in my life. That is a fact. I made something really cool. But I don't think I don't think the price was worth it. I could have made the just as cool and if not probably better if I had like 3 weeks to do this instead of one. I'm still catching up on sleep and stuff. But I'm good. I'm not a huge fan of donuts this late. Or I mean, I love the taste. Donuts are awesome. I love them. They taste great. But that's the problem because it's just empty calories. Or like oftentimes whenever like someone would bring donuts to my work, it would be at like, when we, at 8 a.m. or whatever, whenever we started opening, 9 a.m. Like, I don't want a donut to be the first thing I eat in the morning. It's literal just like cake. Yeah. And it's funny, if anybody has the like capacity to make YouTube faster, it's YouTube. They're Google. They have the servers. Twitch does it a wonderful way. I love the Twitch API. It makes so much sense. It's great. It's built for streamers. All that good stuff. YouTube, no. Oh geez, I didn't mean to do that one. Also, why am I using this pen? I should be using my smaller one. We'll switch to that in a second. Like honestly, I've been spamming the breakfast tacos this semester. I'm never going back. You can't go wrong. You could do a taco in a billion different ways. That's my go-to. And a cup of, unsweetened black tea. And I usually sip it while cooking. Oh, wonderful experience. Do you have a go-to breakfast sandwich? Not really. I mean, if I ever make one for myself, it is spinach, bacon, egg, Munster. Uh, I usually prefer. Okay, so this is where like the word sandwich kind of has multiple meanings. Because like if you count, I usually take like an English muffin. That's my go-to. But if not, I'll just toast. Make some toast. Create some toast, he says. I'm often disappointed when I go to restaurants like breakfast places and get a breakfast sandwich. Because like, my favorite thing for the past 2 years has been my favorite breakfast item. It's Eggs Benedict. Eggs Benedict rocks. I didn't say, oh, Munster, sorry, Munster cheese. And spinach doesn't have any taste. If you say use spinach, you've never had spinach. I think Munster is a wonderful breakfast sandwich cheese. Same thing for grilled cheese, underrated. Swiss, I could see that. Pairs well with ham if you have like a ham breakfast sandwich. Very thankful that my lines are a little bit inaccurate, but after a week of not touching the pen, uh, it seems like we're doing okay. I feel I still am very upset because I wanted to stream this week, of course, and we're not going to be able to stream that much during the winter, because I'll be gone. So that's the thing with Swiss. I don't know. I don't feel like it has enough. I don't know, like tang to it, or like the kind of sharpness that cheddar gives. I love the 4 millimeter. Gives you a lot of room to work with. Like jelly filled. Like cream cheese? Or just, oh, okay, I think I get what you're meaning. Cool, cool. Alrighty, so nice little warm up. Very glad to see that my line work is still pretty much there. especially after a week. So we're gonna go into BRB, 2 minutes of ads. You know the deal. The drill, the deal. I don't know. But yeah, and then we're gonna head into our second page of form intersections. We're still working on that. We got quite a lot of intersections on this page. So we're probably not gonna get through it. We're gonna be taking today's stream a lot easier. Yeah, so be right back, everybody. Honestly, when it comes to One Piece, like, and also, Kat, I'm not here to babysit you. I hope you know this, right? Like, we're here to draw first and foremost. I'm not here to be like your entertainer. But in terms of One Piece, I've been really meh about it recently, especially with this part of Egghead. It hasn't been entertaining me. I'm not too happy with it, but I can definitely see how it's entertaining and just not stuff that I find like I care to watch, which is a bit unfortunate because I love One Piece, but I don't know. It's just like I would rather just rewatch Enies Lobby. I mean, don't be surprised. You get an episode a week. Dressrosa was like what, 150 or something? Let me see. Dressrosa episode count 118. So yeah, 2 years ish. A little bit over 2 years for Dressrosa. That's probably not right, is it? Nah. Google. So let's get back to our form intersections, everybody. Let's get started. Yeah, like I want to like dress One Piece, but like the music, I do not like the music, or a lot of the music for Egghead. There's some nice ones. The animation style is all over the place. Like the animation's good at the points where like they clearly like hired a really good animator or something for that. But I don't know. I'm just too disinterested right now. But yeah, cool. So something's off here. I can't say what. I think this should have been like steeper, but we started with that, so that means this should have been steeper or something like that. Yeah, so we're now on. We've done most of the intersections on this side of the page. We're now over here. We'll bulk up. Did I reinforce those lines back there? I shouldn't have. That would have been very silly of me. Oh, heck yeah. I actually listened to a lot of Ludovic for the past week. Thank you. So we have a couple intersection options here. We got to be wise, got to be careful. Because, we could have a sphere to cylinder intersection, we could have a box to cylinder intersection, and we can have the cylinder to box intersection. Cool. Ideally, what I would like to do is make a cylinder to box intersection and then use that to make an inference on what the cylinder to sphere intersection will be like. Or, yeah, I would actually rather do, because I want the intersection between the sphere and the cylinder to be like over here, far away from like all of this. Because like, remember, the intersection line can only exist when the two silhouettes, I had a better word for silhouettes, but basically when the two forms overlap, right? So an intersection line can only exist here. And if we play it stupid because of the box intersection with the cylinder, then the intersection between the sphere and cylinder could end up over here. So we might as well define it first over here and then figure out how that translates to the box. So yeah, a sphere cylinder intersection. I think it was actually on our warm-up page. We talked about how this occurs, and we get that cool, I forgot what we called the line, but we have a specific type of line that happens. It's like a rubber band, almost. And that happens at any angle. So we just have to figure out where we want, and there's like, let's see, 4 cases of intersection between a sphere and a cylinder. Either they don't intersect at all, they intersect at a singular point. So 5. They intersect like 6. They intersect like this, where we have this kind of shape happening. Then the non-trivial case, as it was called in Wikipedia, where it intersects and to a point right here. And then finally, they're both fully intersecting. So the cylinder is fully encapsulating the cylinder. So you'll have like 2 lines in that case. That's the only case other than the non-trivial case. Because the non-trivial case makes like a cool infinity shape. But yeah, so now we get to decide how this intersects. So I'm going to look at it from an angle that benefits me. And I'm kind of tempted to do something like this. And then it ends right here. So yeah, we could actually have like the intersection dot be right here. Am I a coffee person? I'm not. I'm a tea person. I can't handle caffeine well. So now we have to decide what angle we're looking at this from. Because if it intersects right here, that's practically one of the closer points of the cylinder towards us. But remember, the cylinder has this like going forward like this gradient to it. Meanwhile, this one is going away, away, away. So this is actually going to like climb up it again a bit. Yeah, another issue I see is the intersection line right here getting caught up in all that. So I'd rather not. And yeah, we're kind of scraping it because it's not going through, the cylinder isn't going through / passing the center point of the sphere. So that means, what does that mean for our, because that means the cylinder is now going like forward around. So I can't even remember the word, I'm not gonna lie. I did it and forgot about it. And ooh, I just realized, right? So if we go back to this example, which is very muddled and confusing, we have our like rubber band shape. This rubber band shape actually represents a contour ellipse going around the cylinder at some point, right? The degree of it. So, and like to highlight that a bit more concretely. Right. Just it stops doing that because we get up here and we're like, oh, we're running out of room, so we got to get closer, and then it's like, okay, and then it gives up again and goes back down. So yeah, if it intersected right here, we'll use the kind of like mental technique of imagining that the cylinder was infinitely long. What would happen with it? And if it was infinitely long, then we'd probably see an intersection like over here. Oof, maybe not. Okay, I can kind of see what I'm going for right now. We're going to be cutting. Yeah, starting from over here is a bit easier for me to visualize. Part of me is wanting to make the degree super small, but I have no reason for doing that. The degree should be larger. Hmm. I'm not closing my eyes right now, just trying to imagine. Yeah, ideally it's still going to make that shape. I just gotta picture what's going on in my head. My brain kind of like gives up when like once we get to that contour section, right, and it starts bending. I think it just should start bending quickly, I guess. Okay, I can kind of see it happening. It's just quite difficult. Hmm. Would the rubber band thing, because we're looking at a sphere, so would the rubber band shape go to the very top edge of the cylinder every time? And no, depending on the height of the intersection, right? Relative to us, maybe. I think. Yes. Okay. So my mentality with this is we have two cases I'm considering, right? Let's say we're looking down the cylinder and we have a sphere intersecting, right? So this is our cylinder. We have a sphere intersecting it. Right? This is our sphere. Our U shape will be exactly kind of as we see here. It's going to be following up this loop-de-loop and going back down. And because of the relative height, because like the center of this sphere is below that one. So that means the intersection right here will not be in line with the intersection down there. So like if we, the perfect, this will create a weird rubber band shape where it's like shorter up here and longer down there. That's the intersection, right? And so we can really make that dramatic by having once again our cylinder, our cylinder, and having our sphere really down here. So now this is definitely not level with that. So the intersection right here and the intersection right here are much further away from each other. So what shape will that create? In fact, that's actually, this intersection is below the center of this ellipse too, so that's going to be a rather unique case. It's looking to be just like this. There's no like over curve to it. And another way to think about this is this is just a segment of the cylinder that it's cutting through, right? So yeah, that's a cool way of thinking about it. Just we're in a weird case, like I said, because our cylinder's ending before this can complete. So we're going to be like this. Cool. Okay, we've explored that idea. Take a sip of water and try our best to interpret it. Hopefully I wasn't muted that whole time. We'll see. Cool. So yeah, in this situation, see the you guys can barely see it, but the intersection dot I've placed is right here, and it looks like it's over. So that means the sphere is closer to us than the closest part of the cylinder. So we're going to be, once again, copying that degree. And since it's closer, it's actually going to go touch. Why doesn't it say I'm streaming? You're looking at the Discord. Well, it usually doesn't say I'm streaming. Oh yeah, I just don't have it set to do that. And so yeah, using that example we just had, it's curling over. So yeah, we're going to be seeing the top of that Pringle shape. I don't want to call it the Pringle shape, but it is pretty... Actually, no, because the Pringle shape is like concave in the wrong direction. Because yeah, it's going to be curling back down a little bit. No, it won't. Why would it curl back down? The contour ellipse is going to like form around the cylinder for a point, so it wouldn't carve back down because the cylinder doesn't do that. It'll just change, I guess, the rate of the curve, right? Because this is like not curving in a direction, and then it changes rather quickly. And I'd rather it be like this. So yeah, my intuition before, that's kind of the trend we're seeing with deform intersections, is my intuition is generally correct the first time, but I have to like supplement it with a little bit more explanation to have a reason, right? Because while my intuition may work, I would rather a reason why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. This has me doing a counterclockwise ellipse and I don't like it. I wish I had some more funny stories from this week, but I mean, it's been my computer and I, it's just, thankfully now that I have a lot more free time, could even work on lesson videos possibly. I'll be sure to have some more. Oh. Aw, you trickster, you. My professor said he returned grades for my philosophy final, but so what object am I going to draw after I finish the demos? I would like my stapler, but that may be a bit too hard. So we'll see. Ah, this guy still hasn't graded mine. You prankster, you. But a stapler would be cool. Because like most rectangular things I have are very slim, like my phone, right? And if it's not that, they're like very rotund. I actually do have this picture of some friends and I, which would be a challenge, but it would still be good. Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it. It's like a cool picture frame. Draw a bottle of glue. That's like very round. Why don't you go draw a bottle of glue? Yeah, Elmer's glue. I remember when I was a kid and I first learned what glue was made of, and I was like so distraught. Oh, that was not the right curve. Frick. Well, it's there now, so. Ah, man, that sucks. I'll let you figure that one out. Cool. So we have these two intersections. So it will meet up here, right? Because if it's intersecting the sphere at this point, then it's going to go up, 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 and then probably like right here is what I'm thinking. I think that'd be cool. Yes. And lo and behold, guess what, guys? It is another. This line's tripping me up. The degree? No, the degree is okay. Just this intersection's also messing me up. Because this implies that's kind of going forward and towards us. While the box is going mainly out to like the side. So it's a question if these ever intersect, which I think they should. So that makes it seem like the intersection should be like over here. Oof. Yeah. Oh man, that curve's so wrong. whatever. I should have looked at it from this angle. So what did we learn? Look at it from this angle. The degree was correct right here. I just should have like made that a lot softer. I made it a very steep curve. Now, how should I have known to look at it from that direction? I don't know. So let's divide this up into like hemispheres and stuff. Because like this is pointing outside of the sphere. And so if we had like a contour line going through the center of that, that'd be going through the center of the ellipse. Let me close my eyes and like try to picture what's happening here. It doesn't help that this is like a tangent line on accident, but it doesn't help that the degree right here is super small. If it's aiming out and this plane goes right there, what was the plane analogy that we did? The closer the plane is to being parallel to the minor axis in any rotation, the flatter the line gets. And these are close, right? This one's going, the plane's going like this. The cylinder, the minor axis of the cylinder is like this. Let's see. Oh man, sphere plane intersection or cylinder plane intersections are so tough. You know, this kind of vibe from it. That kind of makes sense, especially when like starch is involved. Hmm. I just hate this how this line turned out. Wait, so this face is visible. That's tripping me up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I'm imagining like a degree flip in the middle of this, but yeah, this face is visible. Ugh. Okay, so how does that affect us? I don't know, Kat. That's a good question. Maybe you skipped gym class a couple too many times. Well, I can't remember how it brought it up, but like my art teacher was like, "Why is there a cow on the front of Elmer's glue?" And at the time I was told it's made out of cow hooves, but yeah, I mean, it's a mighty efficient source. Might I say? Might I say so? I think that's true. Like, it's not a historically glue was made from animal parts like hooves and bones. That was the AI overview, but let's see if that's the real reason the cow is at the front. Why is Elmer's glue logo a cow? Because it's chosen for the mascot. Because okay. Elmer's was owned by Borden's, whose mascot was Elsie the cow. So their glue line, they came up with Elmer the bull. Interesting. The jelly. I mean, I'm not sure about that, but like that doesn't mean it can't be used for other things, right? It's not mutually exclusive. You can use puff pastry for other things, you know, just because it's an ingredient for one thing. Oh, I'm so upset about that. Whatever. I'd rather keep this intersection here very simple and like just barely touching over here because I don't want to have to draw anything right there. So we're just going to assume that the cylinder stays in front until right here. What's going to happen? Hmm. It's going to curve because, you know, it's getting further, further, further away, but it's going to get really flat because we're no longer curving that much. Yeah, I've heard of that's the thing, but I've never tried it. I've tried like mini foods, but not like mini. Yeah, like far out foods for like an American, right? Like I haven't explored that zone too much. Hmm. I wanted like a 3 blue, 1 brown video on how to do form intersections. So we're gonna be moving, we're gonna be moving, curving, and then yeah, we're just gonna be because there comes the point where we hit like I don't know. There will come a point, yeah, because we're only intersecting right here, so it's gonna stop the intersection. But yeah, why are we getting like straight right there? Going, 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 going straight. If it was infinitely long, both of them. Also, should I do like the continuation of this? Yeah, because yeah, it's gonna. Hmm. Why would it go flat right there, though? I know that has something to do. If you take a straw and like punch it through a piece of paper. I remember I had a great analogy, another stream that helped me visualize this. But like, yeah, the more angled it becomes. Oh, yeah, yes, I remember now. The more angled the cylinder intersection, it starts off as a circle, and as it tilts, the circle gets longer and straighter on the sides until it turns into a square, which means the curve at the top also flattens. So, in this instance, right, we're poking a straw through a paper at a, like here. Okay, so we're going to. Now, here's a straw, right? We're going to stick the straw through the paper. This is a very terrible straw, but you're going to have to deal. Right? And so when we stick a straw through a piece of paper completely sideways, we just get a hole like this. If we're going to stick a straw at a varying angle, then it's going to get a little bit longer. We keep doing that really dramatically. Until the straw perfectly goes through the paper like this, which means the hole that it creates is just going to be a rectangle. Yeah, I'd rather you not talk about that on stream. But yeah, so yeah, the question is, does it always, because like it has to square out at some point, so ideally, these become like relatively flat, and then like we lose that flatness. So in this case, we're at like a very steep. It's fun. We're at a very steep. Oh gosh. Angle, so. Nice. It's, yeah, I think it should have been a bit more round right here. I was trying to like, because the plane's tilting away from us, so I was trying to bend it a bit, but whatever. So now, that line's very thick. Should have ghosted. Cool. So we have most of the intersections there figured out. It's very noisy, very confusing. But we'll leave that to our future selves to discover or to deal with, I guess. Let's continue on to this mess. Oh gosh. Cav, what were you thinking? Okay. Yikes. Okay. Oh, Cav, what were you thinking? It'd be cool if like this intersected right here, went through there. Or we could do like a full intersection on this plane. And once again, this is a plane to cylinder. It's the same issue. So we just like plane to cylinder intersections as tough as they are. It is really good to get better at them because they're everywhere. And so yeah, once again, the same idea. We just have to find a good way of executing it. The paper is like this, and the straw is almost aligned. So that means we're going to get a very rectangular intersection. Because they're very close to being aligned. Just going to be like like that. But that's assuming naively that the intersection like starts and ends on the plane like this, but it does. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can see it. Yeah. Is it? What is this line? Oh, I've been looking at it the complete wrong way. Ah, jeez. Holy. Okay. So I suppose intersected like this. Oh, oh heck yeah. Oh, what a wonderful song. So the straw is cutting in the paper. They're once again almost aligned. So glue is made of horses. Well, I mean, it's like collagen, right? So horse hooves, cow hooves, bones. So yeah, and I think it was. Didn't you just say though that you didn't know what they made it out of? Hmm. This is weird because like a chunk is going to come out of this if we want it to intersect like that, which I do. I want these intersections to be complex and brain hurty. Um, it's going to move towards us. Why would it move like that? Sugar, just sugar and water? How much sugar do you need? Closing my eyes right now, trying to think of this. Interesting. I can't believe, I can't imagine it would be a very effective glue. It could be, who knows? Because, like, yeah, sugar can get sticky, but glue? I don't know. Factor cap. Hmm. This intersection is proving to be quite the challenge. Seeing a square plane helps me a lot more. Would it curve this way? So, like, let's say it ends like this. Because, yeah, these planes are almost like orthogonal, right? So we're going to get a very, I mean, not really, that won't tell us much. As we know their relation. They're almost like perfectly orthogonal because the cylinder's minor axis is almost parallel with the plane, which gives us that rectangular intersection that we've been talking about. So that's helpful little tidbit. But that does not mean I know what I'm doing. Kat, you are saying just the most random stuff. Oh my god. But yeah, the fish market. It's gonna curve like this. Be straight. Let's see. Let's move the straw. It's gonna get more circular over here to the point where it's like this. As we're moving it, it's gonna get more rectangular. I mean, that's valid. Hmm. Let's see, my intuition told me to make this flat. There's just so many lines right there that I don't want to overlap it. And then yeah, once we get right here. Okay, let's do it. Here to here. It's gonna be messy. And see, we're gonna be curving like this. Because if the straw was all the way up, it'd be a circle. But now it's right here, so it's just gonna be a slight. You could honestly tell me this is Minecraft music and I'd believe you. Yo, Rise! How's it going? This line is so weird. Because ideally it'd be straight down, but we're not having that because it's the cylinder. So a little bit of curve. Like so. Not totally jiving with it, but that's okay. Okay, the cone here. What's going on? Cones are rather weird. Infinitely many slices of tiny ellipses. Am I ending the stream on time? Probably. I'm still recuperating after the week, and I have some chores to do tonight, so. Probably. It's going to curve up like this because we're taking infinite. Why are cones easier for me to like conceptualize in my head than spheres or cylinders? They're easier to draw than typical cylinder as well. Because you have one less line. Oh wait, this is like crazy. Okay, am I like making this too easy in my head? Because I'm getting it, which is rare. Yeah, holy, okay. Gangster. Let's see, yeah, it'd be like this. Nice, nice. Yeah, how's this week been treating you, Rice? How's the new house? Not sure if you've moved in yet. Nope. I'm only going to reinforce a line twice. I almost reinforced this one again, but we'll have a our hatching to guide that. We're actually really close to being finished. Which means next stream would be a little bit weird. Because yeah, we just have this intersection and this intersection too. This one's going to be very, very interesting. So yeah, like what if it was like this? Like this. Hmm. Lots of planes and they're all very tiny here. Like it's hard to keep track of. Okay, so this plane goes right here. If it intersected, it'd be like this. And ideally, yeah, we want this intersection with here and here to be quick. Like this almost. In fact, I really mess with that heavy. Is that the right line though? Yeah, okay, so this one did the line from like right here to right here. And then this one is another plane to plane intersection. Yeah, this is all plane to plane technically because I refuse to fill in that little gap, so. Which doesn't necessarily make it easy. It just makes it not a cylinder plane intersection, which I suck at. Oh, that means we'll still have to draw it. I'm gonna ignore it, maybe. We'll see. Anyways, so yeah, we intersect here. Now we're onto this plane. Let's see. So this plane's moving forward and in. And this one's kind of like going like this in a way. So yeah, my intuition, once again, is probably correct, but there's like a huge margin of error with intuition for me. Like I can get it in the ballpark, but because like, will it be in an acute angle or will it be? Is obtuse the other one, right? Shows how well I did in geography or geology, geography and no, geometry. Holy. Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping this Christmas I'll buy some lights and I'll angle them 45 degrees to the setup away from where my hands are. Which will allow me to not have to deal with that. I just don't want a tangent line, but it looks like that may happen. Kavel doing a drawing. Possibly. There's a little bit of evidence for that. The drawing allegations are crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this. And we're gonna call it there, because like 5 minutes, sure, I could do that intersection, but I don't really want to. And we had a good stream already, lots of good focus, got a lot done. So next stream we can finish that intersection, do our hatching, and start the next one. Nice. Look at that, everybody. Try to repair that. Yeah. Air filter. Oh, no. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, makes sense. Wise decision. And yeah, we're going to end it there. Very confusing. Hard to see. But we'll live. Cool. So, yeah. Everybody, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Another day, another intersections. I'm glad to be back. Gonna be quieter, gonna be more laid back streams because I'm still recuperating, but same old. Yeah. Thank you, Kat and Rise, for joining us tonight. Ending a little bit early. Do apologize. We should be streaming at a very normal schedule this week. Thanksgiving will be coming up, and I'll be, of course, taking a couple days off for that. For being a Kavel mod. That's where all Delano's money is going. No. Cool. So once again, thank you all for joining me, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.